Hey Armando, welcome back. Good to see you again.
How's it
How
going,
are you
man?
today?
Pretty good.
Uh, all right, all right. Really quick before we start, can I get your permission to record this coaching session?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. And
Just
also,
remember, if you make millions of dollars, I get half. It's fine. It's fine. All right. All right. On a serious note,
oh man, I forgot about your how funny you can be. I'll give you a quarter. That's the best I can do. And also, can I get your permission to share this recording with supervisors for analysis and criticism, just on my part, not they won't be criticizing you at all.
yeah, we'll do.
Okay, I appreciate that. Maybe some criticism. They'll criticize that joke.
Yeah, pretty bad joke.
Um, not too bad, not too bad. So tell me what's going on. Last time we spoke, you were we discussed, well, the time before that we discussed your sort of brand building a brand, building a brand around your web of expertise surrounding real estate and design and buildings and home buying, things like that, inspections. And then we reviewed your fitness goals, your fitness and health goals. You said you weren't exactly feeling like your old self. You mentioned um, how good you felt as an athlete. Being sort of physically limitless, virtually limitless. Be able to run and sprint and feeling like sort of just uh, you know, like an alpha. And sort of, you want to get back to that, but you're working long hours. You got freaking commute from I through I-4. You got to battle I-4 every single day. And so what did you want to discuss? Do you want to continue on the fitness health, or do you want to pivot towards something else?
Um, Good question. Uh,
Well, let me ask you
I guess we
something.
can.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm saying I guess we can discuss some a little bit on the fitness, health, and then probably talk about something else.
Good, good. Yeah. There's always room to adjust, to pivot. Got to stay flexible, be like water. If I'm allowed one quote, I will quote Bruce Lee. And
There we go.
so talk to me, man. What's been going on? Have you made any progress? Uh, is there any kind of updates, any changes, any movement?
Yeah, I think one of the progress that I have made was starting to do some meal prepping, and
Okay.
starting to like figure out like what to eat, what kind of foods to eat, what things like fit the schedule and like what works with the body and like what makes you feel good. So starting there because that's a simple change, like everybody has to eat. So it's just kind of starting with the planning there and making that easier so you can gain a little more extra time um, instead of like like gotta wake up and gotta do breakfast versus like oh I wake up and food is already ready there and I can just heat it up and eat it and then, saves a bit of time. So that's been helping out, get an hour back for your date. So
Oh, nice.
that was
Okay, good.
yeah.
So you getting some time back. You have been meal prepping and it's been going well, and you've been exploring what foods to eat and whatnot. So is the motivation along the same lines? I know you said to save time, but is it is it harkening back? Is this part of your sort of development towards you know, rediscovering your physical peak?
Yeah, I think so, cause like part of like uh performing well is, part of that is like diet. And one of the things that I used to do back in the day was like, everything was like pre-planned, and you don't really think that like plays a significant role, but um it kind of does more than you think it does. And that's something I kind of noticed, because like, back when, a few years back, and when I was in college, it was just like, oh well, you know chicken and rice, and you already had that like prepped for like the week, or at least like 2 or 3 days, and then you didn't really have to focus so much on the cooking side of things. You just kind of grab it and go, and then start your workout, or like, if you were tight on time, you knew that like you didn't have to like really cook. And then sometimes like now what I notice is like, well, it's like, well, what time do you go to the gym, right? Like, oh, you have that commute, but then you also had to eat, or like you're really hungry. And then you're like, well, I had to eat something. But by the time you finish cooking, it's already like 9 o'clock or almost 10 o'clock, and then you're like, oh, do I go to the gym now, or do I just go to bed, right? So it's like, well, maybe let's try to cut that perspective out. And then like, okay, well, I know I don't have to cook. Let me just go to the gym right now, and then come back and something's already there, right? So like that on itself, I think, um, will help out, because I'm still readjusting that schedule. So now I'm starting to put that into practice. So we'll see how this next week goes, and what tweaks I can make to gain a little more time, and you know be more proactive with it.
Oh dang, you're making leaps and bounds, my friend. No, you're making there's a lot of progress. It sounds like I'm if I was watching a show like a series, like feels like I missed the whole season, you know? You don't even need me anymore. Get out of here. No, just kidding.
Uh,
That was really good though. Yeah, so you started going back to the gym, and sometimes you feel like there's a question of how best to use, yeah, especially when it's limited, right? How best to use the limited time you have around your long work schedule. Yeah, okay. So that's really good. So do you have a set day when you're meal prepping? I know you said you're
uh,
still sort of exploring like what foods and work best for you, and of course you want to enjoy it, right, too. So they work good for you. They're enjoyable. You'll probably want to switch things around, right? Even if you like it, probably won't like top shelf chicken and rice every single day for 60 years or something like that. So
yeah,
so do
yeah.
you,
Well,
do you
right
have a
right
day?
now,
Go ahead.
yeah, right now, prepping the food on Sundays. So I'll take some
Okay.
time, since I have some time there. Take some of that time, and then prepare it on Sundays, and then that way at least I have it for like at least until Wednesday, and then on Wednesday, try to prepare something else. So that way, like, at least, like, you have like food for like three days, and then do the next thing. So kind of like only cook twice a week, instead of like all the time or every day. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay.
But
So you cook on Sunday, and that lasts you. Do you start those meals on that same day? Like, will you take one meal from the Sunday meal prep?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the
Yeah.
best meal. The Sunday meal is the best meal because
Ah,
it's
nice and
fresh.
fresh, eh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, some people argue that leftovers, like Thanksgiving leftover, are like better than the actual Thanksgiving
yeah.
meal.
True, true, true.
Everyone has their own opinion on that. But let's not get political here, eh? But
Yeah.
yeah, okay, so you're cooking actually twice a week. So does that work for you, or would it be more beneficial to just prep all your meals for the week on Sunday? Do they not last? Would you not be able to make them
Well,
last the week? Like keep them fresh?
I, I can probably make them last for like the rest of the week, but once you start getting into Wednesday, just the food just starts losing the flavor. At
Oh, okay.
least kind of I notice it's just like
Yeah.
it starts getting a little bit too old at that point. It's like
I see, I see.
do I really want to eat this again? Like shit. At that point you
Okay.
start, you're like I don't know. At least for me, I just at the third day is where I notice that it's like that's like the I guess the most that you can get out of it with the most flavor. Like once you push it past that, you kind of like, man, this just kind of starting to taste a little bit old. I don't know. It just like a different flavor on the food. You know what I mean? Like it's just a little weird.
Oh, I
Like
see what
once
you're
you
saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. So you mainly mean you can mean both like the actual flavor literally, but also like
yeah
in terms of your own subjective experience of it,
yeah
having to eat
well
the same thing over and over.
not so much having to eat things over and over, but like for example, like let's say you cook rice and then it's like the rice, the longer it stays in the fridge, the harder it gets. So
Yeah,
then
okay.
the like
I see.
by day three, it's like you put that sucker in the microwave and that thing comes out freaking hard, man. And then now you have to put like water in there to be like, let me put some extra water, so like to try to soften it up and like reheat that sucker again. And like the days before that, it doesn't really happen. But like when you start hitting that the third day, it's like shit. This is getting like a little much. Like I think I'm pushing the limits of this. You know?
Out of hand. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a certain quality of life that you have to upkeep
Yeah.
in
Maybe
order
with
to
older
to
stuff.
justify.
Maybe with other stuff would be like different, maybe like if I try like I don't know, like fish or something, maybe less. Maybe be like a little different or like pasta. Maybe change it up. Get like some pasta and stuff, you
Yeah.
know, something a
So
little
so
different.
on a Wednesday, I can see what you're saying though, because it's like Wednesday, midweek. You probably got some big projects that you're working on, and you got like what 4 hours between arriving back home and having to go to sleep. So maybe five if you're lucky. So
Yeah,
you do have to choose probably between meal prepping and you're a methodical guy, so you like to do your spices and your things like that, have it actually quality, you don't just want to throw anything down your throat. So yeah. So how do you think you're going to navigate? Do you think maybe you just take Wednesday off of the gym and like just have a gym schedule that includes maybe like a day in the weekend or something like that? Or maybe
yeah,
just, or you can have like 4 days and you don't really have to go to the gym every single day, right? You can do your jogging or your cardio, preferred cardio,
yeah,
or do like some at home like circuit training, P90X type video or something like that. So,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, what
how's
I
that
was
looking?
thinking on that day, it's just kind of like you know, uh, going out for a walk and just kind of getting the cardio in. So it's a lot quicker than like going to the gym because you don't have like at the gym. What do you spend an hour and a half when if you're doing a cardio day? Maybe 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes max, right? So it's a little shorter. So at least I should be able to squeeze that in. Let's just go out and get some sunlight, touch some grass.
Some grass.
So just leave some of the stuff baking because that's the thing too. Like you can, like with some of the stuff, like if you're like baking or whatever, you put it for like 45 minutes and you kind of know what the timing is. So you can
Oh,
always like
nice.
leave it baking, and then especially if you put it in like low heat, So then during that time where it was like stuff is baking, I can always go and like for a walk and then come back and the food should be done.
Dude,
Not the safest thing to do, right? Because what if it catches on fire, right? But it shouldn't. It
oh
never caught on
man,
fire before, you know?
safety schmafety, man. You got cardio to do and grass to touch. You can't worry
Yeah.
about fires.
Priorities, priorities.
No, no, you probably don't want to burn the house down, but I gotta say you're a lot more patient than me because slow cooking for 45 minutes, man. I'm putting nothing on max heat and I'm waiting 15 minutes tops. So you
Yeah,
got
true.
you got patience. You are a master of many crafts, true
Yeah,
craftsman,
well,
if I
there's
may say
different
so.
like recipes, you know, like some of them they'll like be like, oh, cook this for 45 minutes at 220 degrees. That is not gonna fucking like burn, you know? It's like it's intended to last that long. So if you go in there and like take it off, it's gonna be raw. So it's like as long as you time it and you kind of set up a little timer and not just like, oh, I'm gonna put it there 45 minutes and then walk away and be like, oh, how long has it been? I don't know. I need to check it now, and you're stuck there at that point. So it is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, no, I see. But the point being that you can sort of mix in your meal prep on Wednesday, your second meal prep of the week with some form of physical activity that works for you that you enjoy.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that being doable, you know. So
Whether you're doing both at the same time or sort of staggered, you can do one and then the other. Um, you can also try, it's possible if you don't mind me tossing us into a surprise brainstorm session. Do like some sort of video. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube, things like that. Whatever resources you can find, like in-house circuit training things. You know, standing cardio and whatnot, things like that. You can do
yeah, that'd be cool.
while you're waiting on your sweet potatoes to finish in the oven.
Yeah, you know what might be cool to get one of those Peloton bikes, putting that sucker
Oh
in the living
man.
room and just like maybe I can play some FIFA while I'm at it.
Oh hell yeah.
Uh,
Now we're thinking. Now we're cooking. If
so
if I can use that. All
true,
right.
true, true.
Peloton bike and FIFA, man. Um, on the wages of an architect. Yeah, that's great. I don't
Might
know.
not be a bad idea.
Personally, my personal preference is like an off-brand. I think Peloton is mostly marketing, but that's
True.
totally your call. Whatever your preference is.
Or maybe get a real bike and put it on the little stands things that it comes. You ever seen
Oh
those?
yeah,
Like,
that could work.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. I'll think of something because I think maybe that would be kind of cool too. Because then you can change the variations. I don't know. Maybe you don't feel too much like walking that day and you just like want to sit down and watch a movie. It can be like doing cardio. You know, why do you have to be sitting down when you're watching a movie? You know, why can't you just
Who said that's a thing? Well,
like
we all just assumed we're supposed to be sitting in a couch comfortably
yeah, exactly.
to watch a movie when we could be running for our lives. Whoop, I lost you there, buddy. Hello, testing, testing.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you are.
Am I
What happened,
back?
man?
I don't know. It just dropped.
All right, I was worried.
Maybe the internet.
Ah,
Maybe the
I
internet.
was like, man, maybe Peloton overheard us, and they were like, yeah, take this guy out before he like shares some secrets or something. I'm
Who
glad
knows?
you're okay. I can
Is it off
breathe easily now.
brands?
All right, so we got meal prepping and sort of scheduling the workout. So tell me a little bit more about your sort of your progress, your scheduling, your ability to sort of work out. Has that been improving at all? Have you had more time? Have you had more motivation, more energy, anything like that, any kind of changes like that?
Um, well, still working on the schedule as part of it, you know.
Yeah.
Certain things shit comes up and then it's like, oh, now you have to do this or whatever. So still trying to get that like ironed out so I can figure out like, cause the times we're working out right now are kind of scattered. Cause sometimes I'll be like getting back home at like 7 o'clock. Sometimes I like 8. Sometimes I like 6. So I'm trying to narrow that down so it's more like consistent. You know, it's like, do I leave earlier from work? Like, what time do I leave? So I can kind of plan out like with the traffic, so I can get there at exact like at a consistent timing versus like being all over the place. You know,
Okay,
'cause
I
that's the other
see.
thing that kind of like uh ruined a little the schedule is like sometimes like I-4 traffic will be like great, no traffic. I'll be like home in an hour and like 20 minutes. And then sometimes, there'll be like the dumbass that, decided to merge into someone's lane and then ended up causing an accident. Now you're delayed by 2 hours. It's like, gosh, like
Sheesh.
can 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 you guys like learn how to drive? Like
Get
why
it
does everybody have to
together.
get in an accident every
Yeah,
day?
they're messing up everyone's day. People have kids, they gotta go to soccer practice and whatnot. And these guys are just crashing into people.
Yeah, yeah. All because they were too impatient to get one, I guess. I don't know.
Man, impulse control people, am I right? Impulse
Yeah.
control. Pay attention. Oh man,
Yeah, but
so that's actually tough to work around. Yeah, not knowing when you're gonna leave work. So it's like how you supposed to schedule your start time at the gym at 7 p.m. if you don't know if you're gonna get to work even home by 7 p.m. or out of work by
right,
7 p.m. So yeah,
right.
yeah. So you really have to be very dynamic, very flexible.
Or
Um,
now I'm thinking, do I that's the other thing is like part of this is like trial and error, right? Because like you think something in theory, but then when you put it in practice, it just falls on his ass. So then now I'm thinking like, well,
it is.
what if I find a gym closer to work, so then when I get out of work, I can just go directly to the gym, right? I don't know, that's also an option. So it's something I might want to explore as well. So then, kind of like see what works best. You know what I mean? So there's
Yeah.
gonna be a little time of like trial and error. See like, oh shit, this it's not playing out as I thought it was, or maybe this definitely works. I think part of that's like the problem too, you know? So
So I think we're on the right track here. We're picking up some steam. Um,
yeah,
it's a funny metaphor. Is steam related to train tracks, like a train? Anyways, off topic.
yeah,
Okay, so like we're on the right tracks, train, steam. I like that. Um, so you said finding a gym closer to work, going immediately after work. Is it possible to go during lunchtime? Because lunchtime is pretty consistent, right? It's more consistent than when you get off of work, somewhat, possibly.
maybe.
It's
There's
it's like the
definitely there's definitely like like a cardio being involved there. That's definitely a thing. Can definitely do that. Guys like, you know, there's nothing stopping me from going outside the building and going for a run or like walking around for an hour, right?
so if you yeah so if, yeah so on those days, well, is it possible to also squeeze in like you got to get in your car, you got to drive. Maybe you can make it 45 minutes or something like that. Like a full on. training session at the gym. And then if you're meal prepping, you already have your meal ready. So maybe you can actually get to the gym, get your workout in, and then have your post-workout meal, or have it as a pre-workout meal, or
Right.
something along those lines. Is that a
That's
possibility,
true. Possible.
or am I speaking in fantasy world?
Yeah, might be worth giving it a try. You know, I mean, everything's worth giving it a try, to be honest. Because hey, maybe there's a gym close enough where I can just like 5 minutes. So I don't know. It might be. I think there is in LA. No, Planet Fitness. I think there might be Planet Fitness nearby. So it's like that 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, or like let's say like it takes me 10 minutes, 10 minutes there. Uh, so you can easily squeeze in a 30 or 40 minute workout. Not a bad idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It just sounds like it sounds like something that might be possible. Yeah, that's why I threw that out there. Um, so let me ask you something. What would, because clearly you've been thinking about this, this comes back to mind. You've been meal prepping, strategizing, planning, making great progress, you know. So what would success look like? Like optimal, you've reached peak accomplishment in this area of fitness and health and meal and diet, nutrition. What would that look like to you?
uh, I think part of it now is more. I'm more so in like the cardio, like being able to do stuff like more in the cardio side of things, really.
Okay.
So, because I'm not that like before, before I used to be more into like, oh, I want to put some weight. Like now, I don't really care about putting like weight like that. It's more, it's more like functionality, you know.
Good.
So I think now I'm more focused on like functionality because I think part of like some of the things that I want to do, like how we talked about like sometimes you just feel like you're like stagnant and like
Yeah.
you're not really doing much with your life. It's like it's like I guess like part of it's like the call for adventure, right? So it's like what does that look like? Does that look like just like being like a massive individual, or does that look like somebody who's like able to like, you know, go for like a 10-mile hike, right? Or do other things. I don't know, go and like hike a mountain or go and do like some um kayaking, right? So like different things like that, like more like I don't know, right now I'm leaning more to like the outdoor, um like more on that lifestyle than
Yeah.
like just focusing on like a simple like, oh, I just want to get like shredded, or I just want to get big. um but I know that part of it like feeling strong is also like doing like resistance training, but not so much in the emphasis of like, oh, I just want to get big for the sake of getting big. Like I don't really care too much about that. It's like I don't know, I kind of look at it now, and it's more like, yeah, well, you know, I mean, you see some real big dudes, like they're like super strong, but then they can't move, or they're not flexible, or they can't even run anymore. And I guess part of it too is like especially with like the World Cup coming up, it's kind of like reminding kind of giving you like flashbacks of like what you used to do when you were like a kid. It's like,
Oh
damn,
yeah.
we used to like be playing around, like running in a soccer field for you know, 2 hours nonstop, and somehow we pull that shit off. The craziest thing I remember is like when we were during those times, like sometimes we used to play uh in like extreme weather, like stuff that we would never do nowadays. It's
Dude,
like,
the freaking 12 12 o'clock midday
yeah,
in Florida
yeah,
on a in like summertime.
yeah, 2 to 4, man, worst weather ever to play. And I remember we're like, oh, why am I feeling so dizzy? Why do I never play any good? Why do I always suck in this? I'm like, bro, you were having a heat stroke, and somehow we still like did it, right? But like if you take a look at that, and then like now you look at yourself, and then you go out for a walk, and you're like, oh man, I'm starting to feel dizzy. It's like not even close to what we used to do as a kid. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to get back to that, like being able to handle that kind of like temperatures, and like not being like phased by like you know like normal fucking weather stuff. You know, like that's kind of like more like the goal now.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So
And I
you're
think
not
and I think other things will follow once like I start getting more towards that realm.
okay. So once you move, once you make progress towards that, um, there's other realms, other aspects of your life that are going to improve as well.
I think so. I also want to do like those like 100-mile bike bike races, or like those like you know 30-mile like marathon, like some shit like that. Like that's
Yeah, just
challenging.
push yourself, test yourself.
Yeah,
Life is more than just how much you can bench.
yeah,
Oh no, I get it, I get it. So yeah, it sounds like so you mentioned a call to adventure, and I like that. I definitely felt a connection to that statement. Um, so sort of being able to hike, being able to kayak, be a wild adventure man. Sort of like I think of Teddy Roosevelt, you know, like leading expeditions through an uncharted South America or was it Central America, something like that, going to like untouched forests and writing about it in a journal. Uh, yeah, like I mean, it's kind of hard to do. I think most of it's been charted at this point, but um, yeah, you want adventures, you want to be able to like handle weather, and not just be comfortable, living comfortable.
yeah. Because in the end of the day, like, had to be able to do some of that stuff. Oh, you can't get too
So
soft.
yeah, so so you also mentioned like something about right before you said call to adventure, you said something about feeling like not doing much at work. Uh, do you want to expand on that a little bit? We only have 5 minutes, but do you want to expand a little bit on like feeling a little bit mundane at work?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like and in this time, like a lot of people just kind of like just kind of settle down in like the routine of the work, but it's not really like meaningful. Like you don't really feel it as being meaningful. Like, yeah, you're doing like you know like anybody does their work. Like, say you work at McDonald's or whatever, like you're just serving people. Is that your purpose? Is your purpose serving people? Like, is your purpose making a burger? Like, what's the point in that, right? So it's like there's a lack of purpose there, right? It's just kind of meaningless. Like, the only thing that we're like here to, I mean, it just that part of it is like the whole system, right? So So this is like part of like a bigger like goal, right? That like I personally have, because obviously the end goal is to like break away from the whole like uh, work until you die mentality, right? Because do you
Yeah,
really need to work until you die? No, not really. Some people just do it for the money, but what does the money gonna bring you if it's all made up anyways and it's fake and it's being controlled? You know, there's
def
people in the higher power like I would call them the puppet masters, controlling all the economic system. So none of it is real anyway. So why are you giving your money? Why are you giving your life away for nothing? Because it really does mean nothing. So you just need like all you really need is just like shelter, and then eventually like really that's all you need. You just need the only thing you need is really shelter, and then anything else will come. Because you could, if you have shelter, you could be homeless and ask for money, and you get $10 from someone, like, and you don't have to work. But in but then you could focus on something more meaningful. Like if you want to go hike, you could do that. If you want to do actually something meaningful with uh, by helping the community, you could do that. If you wanted to become a mentor, you could do that. If you wanted to coach a soccer team and teach children like uh, perseverance and more of like less life lessons, you could do that. So it's just so many more possibilities than just like saying, oh, you just working for a paycheck, right? But obviously we all have to work for a paycheck to an extent. It's just how long do you want to do that for, you know? So it's kind
I
of like,
you just
I don't know.
blew my mind a bit there. So we got to try and establish um I'm sorry, we don't have to try and establish anything. That was a lot. So your values are more aligned with like freedom and sort of nature and people. And sounds like ultimately you're sort of losing interest in the bureaucratic economic rat race that sort of traps most of us for the vast majority of our lives. So
Yeah.
if we can if we can tie it back into diet and fitness, um, how
Well,
how could you start on sort of like one goal today or this week that would sort of push you towards that ultimate vision of your life as a free man, physically fit and back in his peak?
well, I think I think part of it's like part of the other thing that like I guess regular corporate, not just regular corporate, just regular the way that this I guess I'm gonna call it the system, right? Because it is a system. Is set up is to not just take your I guess your years. Is taking your life force. It's like the more you work, the the more you kind of not pay attention to your health, right? And because you're not paying attention to your health, and your health starts deteriorating because you're focusing too much on work. So I guess part of the things that I've been trying to be less caring on, and to take meaningful action to I guess like uh I guess improving my health and like my working hours, that I'm caring a lot less about work. Like obviously I'm still doing my work, but I
Yeah.
come to the realization that you're not the boss, and it's not your business, and you shouldn't care like that. You should just do
So
your job and get out of there. Like
so
it doesn't matter.
your focus is turning more towards your own health and well-being and
Yeah.
that of your the people in your circle, your community.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
deadlines don't
great.
matter. It is what it is. You ain't gonna change it.
You get
Why
endless
worry about
deadlines.
it?
If you meet one, you get another one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why worry about it? There's no point of worrying about it. Oh, you did something wrong in the drawings? Who cares?